So this week, excuse me, the Jose Ramirez moved into second place on the all-time home run list. Obviously, he has spent a lot of time, or he is going to be passed. He's passed a lot of guys on home run list, on RBI list. There you go. There's the home run list. Number 243. He is 94 away from Tommy.
Yeah, 94 from tying, 95 from setting the record.
So, what's the question, Anthony? Will he break Tommy's record? Yes, he will.
How long do you think it'll take for him to get it?
I did the math. So he's 94 homers away.
Yeah. He's on pace for what, 40-something this year? His pace has slowed down.
I think it's like 39.4, 39
right.
whatever. It's around 40. But at the pace he's been at for his career, he needs about 4 seasons and change. But this season, and you would expect next season, and at least a year after.
He's still not very old.
No, he turns 32 this year.
Yeah.
So he's got at least 2 more years of legit power.
Yeah.
No, he started at 20.
Dang.
So he's been around the league for forever. I think he has a chance to hit 30-plus home runs next season.
Yeah.
If not 40.
Yeah.
30-plus home runs the year after that, if not close to 40 again. I think he'd do it in 3 years. I don't think it's crazy to think that in 3 years, in 2027, Jose Ramirez is standing atop
I
the
don't think
Guardians,
it's impossible
Indians.
that he breaks it the last game of the season in 2026.
If he has 40 next year, 40 and
if he ends up with, he's slowed his pace because he's gotten cold, but he can hit 5 home runs in the next 10 days.
he has 3 home runs in the last 3 games.
Exactly. So if he gets, let's say he hits, what does he have right now? How many this year?
27.
Let's say he hits 15 the rest of this year. It's not impossible. He'd be at 258.
So he needs 80 over the next 2 years to break it.
Yeah, right.
It's not
It's
crazy.
possible.
Yeah.
But yes, probably by the 27 season if he stays relatively healthy. But at this point, I'd say 90% he becomes the all-time home run leader.
Why is it crazy that, like, when you look at those names and you see the other names, it just seems like the other names have more weight behind it? Is it because
let me see the names again, Anthony.
Besides the last two.
It's Tommy.
Well, Earl Averill was a great player too. Because those guys, listen, those guys hit more home runs in their careers than Jose because they played for other teams. Obviously.
Yeah, like it's because look, like if you say like Myles Garrett is an all-time sack leader.
Yeah.
You're like, it carries like weight behind it. You know what it is. Like, but when you see Jose there and you still see these other names, it just seems like, yes, Jose Ramirez is good. Is it because those other people played in a golden age or is it romanticized to a point where people don't know just how good he is? Like, just put them side by side.
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys were all, like Tommy, Bell, and Ramirez were huge guys, right? They were more traditional power hitter looking players. Jose Ramirez doesn't look like a traditional player. I think the way he looks has always been a part of why he's been underestimated. And I don't think, maybe underappreciated. I don't know that he's underappreciated by our fans, but maybe there's some level of that. Yes, the 90s teams were magical, and the lineup was ridiculous. And those guys have had better careers because, certainly Manny and Tommy and Bell to this point, because Ramirez's career is not over yet.
Yeah.
But when Ramirez retires, I think he's trending towards a Hall of Famer. Now, Tommy's a Hall of Famer. Ramirez is only not a Hall of Famer because of steroids. Bell is a borderline Hall of Famer. Part of the reason he doesn't get considered is because of, he was a jerk and people let that affect. Yeah. And that's stupid that you let that affect. But there's arguments for him not being a Hall of Famer, too. If you look at some of the advanced stats, the greatness wasn't great long enough. But he was... The bottom line is, yes, Jose Ramirez doesn't have the cachet that those guys do, but he should. And I think he will by the time he retires.
Because when I look at, just coming from that era, when you said Albert Bell, it still hit different. Like, it's just, that's Albert Bell. Like,
yeah, right.
Like, it wasn't no, hey, do you guys know how good Albert Bell is? It was like, no, Albert Bell during that period of time was like, he's the only guy I knew that was literally intimidating people that was not in a non-contact sport.
Right.
Albert Bell wasn't allowed to tackle you or something, but people was like, let me run over Fernando Vina.
Right.
I'm going to intimidate your media guys. It's almost like he intimidated the pitcher to throwing him pitches that he wanted to hit. You're going to throw me a fastball or else. Like
I may come out and kill you.
Like I ain't never seen that.
Well, he had that. I was thinking with Manny in particular. Like Manny had a whole second career after Cleveland.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
That
so
is.
did Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying Ramirez,
Yeah.
and for this specific, like, people who love baseball, maybe not love baseball, people who like baseball who are younger, don't think of Manny in his Cleveland days.
Right.
It's all Boston and beyond. So
right.
he is this two-stage career. So now, so far removed from his playing days, I think we look back and think of the totality of Manny's career as opposed to just his time in Cleveland on that list.
Yeah.
And same with Tommy. And Jose only has this chapter of his career at this point.
And listen, Jose's, fair or not, has shown a loyalty to the organization that those guys didn't.
Right.
That's maybe unfair. They got offered more, but you could say, well, they got offered more money. Well, if Jose had waited to be a free agent, he would have got offered more money by somebody else too. But he didn't do that.
And there were reports that Toronto offered $100 million more, close to $100 million more than the Guardians did.
What do you mean?
Bug.
To who?
Jose Ramirez.
They couldn't have offered him $100 million more. He was a free agent.
No, they were willing to offer him.
Yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of teams.
Had he hit free agency.
Yeah, a lot of teams would have offered him more. There would have been multiple teams that would have offered him more than the Indians/Guardians did, and he stayed anyway. All right? But part of the reason, Myles Garrett, there's not a great player, there's not a great pass rusher that has more career sacks than Myles Garrett that played for the Browns and then went somewhere else.
Right.
Whereas Manny and Tommy obviously have way more home runs than Jose career-wise. So, yeah, he's going to become the all-time Guardians home run leader, but he doesn't have the most home runs of anybody that's played a significant amount of time for the Guardians. Yeah. That's why it feels. That's why it feels.
I'm not.
It's more about a loyalty and for all those jerseys that you had to put in the closet for a while, you won't have to do that with Jose's.
And I'm not saying that Jose. What I'm saying is he has the talent and the resume of some of those guys. It's not like when you look at those guys, he's like getting blown out.
Right.
But I'm just saying it just feels like it. Like he's on that level talent-wise. He's on that level for what he's done. But it just seems like when you look at the other names, there's something extra attached to it. And I'm trying to figure out why it is, because we've seen Jose play at a very high level for a very long time.
I think also, like, if you think about it, before steroids was in the mix, the all-time home run leader, career-wise, was Hank Aaron, of course. Mm-hmm. But I think when a lot of older baseball fans think of home runs, you think of certainly Babe Ruth, and then you think of Roger Maris and the home run record that year. People think of Mickey Mantle. They think of Willie Mays.
And then it's crazy because Willie Mays, they think of like they skip the home runs. Like Hank Aaron, I used to ask my dad, like, why is it, because we talk about cards. I'm like, why Hank Aaron's card ain't worth that much? And he got the most home runs. And people in his era will say, well, Willie Mays was the best.
Most people in that era think Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle were better than Hank Aaron. Yeah. But Hank Aaron was he never hit 50 home runs, Hank Aaron, ever.
He hit 48, 47, 47, 46, 45,
anyway,
45.
And so in some ways he was also unfairly overlooked.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some of that with Jose Ramirez.
And one more thought on the Jose thing. He's not a power hitter. Like, he hits home runs, but he's not a power hitter. Like, Tommy was a guy who stood up there and was trying to launch piss missiles into the third deck.
Yeah, but Jose is a power hitter. He just doesn't look like a power hitter.
But I feel like if you were talking about Jose and say, what's the best part of Jose's offensive approach? It's not his home run swing.
Well, but you wouldn't say that about Ken Griffey Jr. either, but he's still a home run hitter.
I think Ken Griffey Jr. is a home run hitter.
Yeah, I think Ken Griffey is a home run hitter
too. No, he is, but that's not the best part of his swing. I mean, the guy was great at getting up. He was great at everything.
But he's played, Jose for his career has played 12 years and has 240 home runs. Like, it's not like he puts up these monster home run numbers. Like, he has a power swing. I just don't consider Jose a traditional power hitter.
He's not. No, he's not.
That's my point. Like, he's
here's why. And it just
you see what I'm saying?
It dawned on me. If you asked me to say which dominant characteristic trait does Jose Ramirez have, I couldn't tell you what he's dominant at. It's obvious that Albert Bell had power. It's obviously that Manny Ramirez had a cannon for right field. It's obviously that Griffey was athletic and he could hit home runs. He was just great at everything. Like Jose,
but that's what makes Jose special.
He's just good.
He's better than good.
He's a damn good baseball player.
Everything.
Yeah.
So he's excellent at everything. He's an excellent defender. He's an excellent base runner. He's an excellent base stealer. He's excellent at hitting. He's very good at hitting for power. He's very good. at hitting for average. He's good at getting on base.
That's
he's a
my
good
point,
leader.
yeah.
He's good. He's good. He's excellent at everything. He's not just decent at everything. He's excellent at everything.
And that's what I'm saying. When you think of Jose, you don't think of a guy.
No, you don't think of home
bomb
runs.
Home runs. That's not
fair.
what you think of.
It's funny because even from a fantasy baseball perspective, he's probably been a first-round draft pick now longer than almost any player because Mike Trout dropped out of the first round this year. And yet nobody is overly excited to get Jose Ramirez in fantasy in the first round every year, but he consistently puts up great numbers every single season. He's just steady as he